What if I told you the Premier League title is already decided? That before a single ball was kicked, one team was chosen to win it all? That the referees, VAR, and even the footballing gods themselves have one mission? This season, the Premier League has decided Liverpool must win. And the proof? Well, it's everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest football conspiracy of the decade. To understand why Liverpool are the chosen ones this season, we need to rewind. Because if the Premier League is a scripted TV drama, then this storyline has been brewing for years. And like every great TV show, it follows a classic formula. Heroic underdog fights against an unstoppable force, suffers multiple heartbreaking defeats, and just when the audience starts to lose hope, boom, the comeback arc is activated. Jurgen Klopp was football's version of Sisyphus, pushing the boulder up the mountain every year, only for Pep Guardiola to casually knock it back down while sipping Catalan wine and drawing up new tactical innovations on a napkin. Imagine getting 97 points in a league season and still losing. That's like getting a 99% on a test, only for the teacher to tell you that the grading curve means you actually failed. Brutal. First, let's talk about Liverpool's so-called rebuild. The club lost its legendary manager, Jurgen Klopp. Normally, when a team loses a coach of his caliber, they enter a crisis. Players leave, results tank, and the club spirals into an identity crisis faster than Chelsea spending £1 billion on players who don't know how to play football. But not Liverpool. Oh no. Instead, they hired Arne Slot, a man whose name sounds like a Bond villain. And magically, everything fell into place. Their midfield crisis, fixed overnight. Their attack, more dangerous than ever. And the best part, the referees started helping them. Now we need to talk about Arne Slot, the man who was handed the Liverpool job with zero resistance from the footballing gods. Think about it. When clubs like Chelsea or Manchester United need a new manager, it's chaos. Interviews, speculation, rejected contracts, broken dreams. But with Liverpool, nope, no drama, no tension, no last-minute twists. Klopp announces he's leaving and then bam, Arne Slot walks in like he's just been waiting for the call. No competition, no controversy, nothing. Too smooth, too perfect. Let's be honest. Arne Slot wasn't hired to rebuild. He wasn't hired to struggle. He was hired because the script says Liverpool must win this season. Now, some of you may be wondering, why Liverpool? Why not Arsenal? Didn't they come close last season? Didn't they suffer just as much? Well, here's the thing. The Premier League has never forgiven Arsenal for Arsene Wenger. The man spent decades waging war against referees, demanding rule changes and calling for fairness in football. He treated the FA like a bad landlord, constantly filing complaints, questioning decisions and insisting things needed to be fixed. And guess what? Arteta inherited that same rage. He complains about referees, he fights the system, he dares to question authority, and in the Premier League's carefully scripted reality, that's a red flag. Arteta is too loud, too emotional. The Premier League wants a manager they can work with. Someone who understands that the game is bigger than just football. It's a TV show, a narrative, a business. And so, when it came time to choose the next chosen one, the Premier League made the call. Liverpool, not Arsenal. Arsenal will continue their annual tradition of leading the table, only to collapse under mysterious circumstances in April, leaving Liverpool to claim the throne. It's just how the story goes. That said, why not Chelsea? Surely after spending over £1 billion on transfers, they should be favourites. Well, unfortunately, Chelsea have no idea what they're doing. Todd Bailey treats Chelsea like a kid playing career mode on FIFA with unlimited money. Every transfer window, they panic buy players like they're stocking up on toilet paper before a lockdown. The result, a team full of confused youngsters who have never met each other before. The Premier League can't script a Chelsea comeback because frankly even they don't know what Chelsea are doing, and that's why they've been left out of the title picture. Remember when Manchester United were the biggest club in England? Yeah, neither do they. Right now, United are about as close to the title race as Spurs are to winning a Champions League. The Premier League wants United to be great again. They really do. But they just won't help themselves. They buy expensive players who forget how to play football. Their defenders defend like they're on roller skates. And their midfield consists of Bruno Fernandes complaining and Casemiro looking exhausted. Right now, United aren't even part of the Big Four anymore. They're part of a new category, the Remember When We Were Good club. And that's why the Premier League has no choice but to favour Liverpool instead. Now, with the top ones out of the way, historical teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest are suddenly looking dangerous. But why? Because the Premier League is playing the long game. Newcastle have money now, lots of it. And while they're not quite title contenders yet, the league knows that giving them a taste of success makes the narrative more exciting. The Newcastle fairy tale is being slowly cooked. Give them a Champions League run this year. Let them challenge for the title next season and boom, a brand new superpower emerges. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have become a problem. They've beaten top teams. They're tactically disciplined. And most importantly, they have Unai Emery, a man who is on a personal mission to prove that Arsenal should never have sacked him. Villa's rise is all part of the script. A mid-table team rising to glory is the perfect distraction from the fact that the Premier League is low-key handing the title to Liverpool. And then there's Nottingham Forest, a club that has spent years yo-yoing between divisions and signing more players in one season than Chelsea have in a decade. Why are they being allowed to rise? Because the Premier League wants a Cinderella story. Every great drama needs an underdog. The Premier League is smart. They don't just want a title race, they want a spectacle. But make no mistake, Liverpool are still the main event. There's also the case of the King, Liverpool's best player, the Premier League's top scorer, Mohamed Salah. But here's the catch, Salah hasn't signed a new contract, and guess who wants him? Saudi Arabia. See, keeping Salah in England isn't just a Liverpool problem, it's a league problem. Because if he leaves, the Premier League loses one of its biggest global superstars. And the best way to convince him to stay? Hand him the trophy. This is no accident. This is planned footballing propaganda. And that brings us to the real masterminds behind it all, the referees. Let's be real. Liverpool have gotten some very friendly refereeing decisions this season. Suspiciously friendly. We're talking soft penalties, opposition red cards for breathing too hard, and VAR accidentally forgetting to check offsides. Coincidence? Maybe. But do you know what's definitely not a coincidence? Arne Slot's red card against Everton. Now, some of you might think this was just a heated moment, a genuine referee decision, a classic Merseyside derby moment. But let's think about this for a second. What if this was a distraction? See, at this point, even casual fans are starting to notice that Liverpool are getting away with a lot. The Premier League needed to shake things up, make it look like they aren't favouring Liverpool. And what better way to do that than handing Slot a meaningless red card? Think about it. Klopp got away with screaming at referees for years. The man was out here running up and down the touchline like a German Forrest Gump, yet somehow avoided real consequences. But Slot? He gets one slightly aggressive moment and suddenly, boom! Red card suspended, a message sent. What a coincidence, huh? But don't worry, Liverpool fans. This was just a minor sacrifice. Because trust me, this will be compensated for. Soon. Expect a completely ridiculous, utterly dodgy call to go their way in the next big match. Maybe a penalty for Salah after he's tripped by his own shadow. Maybe an opposition player getting sent off for excessive eye contact. The balance will be restored. So, let's break this down one last time. Manchester City can't win because their 115 financial charges are hanging over them like an overdue rent notice. Arsenal won't win because referees still hold a grudge from the Wenger era. Chelsea and United? Well, their combined footballing IQ right now is the same as a goldfish trying to complete a Sudoku puzzle. And Newcastle, Villa and Forest, they're just exciting side characters to make the league look competitive. Like the sidekicks in a superhero movie who get a cool moment but never actually defeat the villain. And who does that leave? Liverpool? The script has been written. The referees know it, the fans feel it. And Mohamed Salah? Well, he's just waiting for the official announcement. The Premier League isn't just football, it's sports entertainment. A global spectacle, a perfectly crafted drama where every season needs a hero. And this year's headline, Liverpool champions 2024/2025. The referees are ready, the narrative is set. The only question is, how blatant will they make it? This documentary is a work of satire. Nothing here should be taken seriously, or should it? But we'll just say this, come back at the end of the season and let's see if we were right.